Yo, 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 what up, though? This is your boy, Chris B. Daniels, and welcome back to Show and Talk. I just got done watching The Mist for like the 45th time, and I gotta say, this is one of my favorite films. Now, I first saw this movie back in 2007 when it first came out in theaters. So, that was the same night I told myself I will never, ever go to the movies again after 7 because on that particular night, even though we had this, the seats that we were in, the theater was so packed that we had to keep moving over. You know what I'm saying? Because more and more people were coming in, so we just had I think we moved over like 2 or 3 times and it annoyed the shit out of me. And I told myself from that point on, no, no more. But it didn't spoil the movie for me because the movie was still pretty good. And again, from this day forward, I only go to the movies at 4 o'clock at the latest. If not, it'll be 1 or 2. But anyway, The Mist. So this movie for me, it takes itself very, very seriously. It has some religion to it, you know what I'm saying? You have one character in this movie, she's a religious nut. So her character to me was kind of ambiguous because it's like, was she right or was it just a coincidence that things was not happening to her? Like when the big ass when the locust or whatever, flew on her chest and crawled up to her face and didn't bite her and just flew away. You know what I'm saying? From that point on, she, you know what I'm saying, she had the whole like supermarket on her side because they witnessed the fact that everybody else was getting messed up except for her. But anyway, to me, she was still a religious nut. You know what I'm saying? Because she was just doing shit that was out of pocket. But the story. So I feel like the setup of the movie, it went really well. You know what I'm saying? Two guys, two neighbors, you know what I'm saying? They had to go in town to get different things. So um the guy, the black guy, he wasn't getting along with the main character. You know what I'm saying? It has something to do with the incident that took place a year before. But both of them needed to go to the supermarket to pick up different things. So the black guy, since his car was destroyed by a tree, the main character winds up giving him a ride to the store with him. And so when they get to the supermarket, everything is all good. Everything's playing out like it should be. So eventually there's this mist and it starts to surround the store and all of the surrounding area. And they're trying to figure out, what's going on. And so the first time that you see any semblance of the creature was in the back room of the supermarket. You know what I'm saying? So it's like three or four of them, three, four, five people that go back there. And this is young dude. He's a cashier. And so he's looking outside because the garage door or whatever in the back is lifted up slightly, the metal door. And so he wasn't trying to, hear what the other dude was talking about. The main character was just trying to tell him to get away from the door. So eventually you see like this big ass tentacle just slides through the door and grabs the kid. You know what I'm saying? And so at first, the thing or whatever the creature is trying to pull him out. And then he grabs like the tentacle, the other like tentacle grabs like a chunk of his leg out and then grabs a chunk of his chest. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I felt like even if they tried to save the kid, he was already gone. You know what I mean? But the kid got pulled under eventually. And so from then on, the story is, block the doors because they started to see like this locust that came later on. And then like these big ass bat looking creatures or whatever that started terrorizing everybody in the store. So the story, as far as the lady, I forgot what her name was already. That's how, I mean, I paid attention to the movie really well, but just not the character names. You know what I'm saying? But the religious nut. You know what I'm saying? This is when she had everybody on her side after they witnessed the fact that the locust or whatever didn't, kill her like it did the other girl, like the younger girl that was working there. You know what I'm saying? So at one point later on in the movie, she has everybody like brainwashed pretty much. And it's one scene where when I said she was out of pocket, she was trying to snatch the main character's son so they could use him as a sacrifice. And so, main character wasn't having it. And so there's this other guy in the movie. Now, I got to say, this is my favorite character. Little dude, y'all know who I'm talking about. The one with the glasses. You know what I'm saying? He winds up shooting the lady twice. He popped the ass once in the stomach and then again in the head. No hesitation. You know what I'm saying? Little dude was gangster, yo. For real. But, yeah. After that, they wind up, the chosen few or whatever. Chosen few. They wind up leaving the store and they make it out to the main character's car. And the ending, we'll get to that in a little bit, but because I want to save that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more that happened in the movie, but I don't really have much time to talk about the entire film. But I want to talk about the characters for a second. So the main character, he's a likable dude. You know what I'm saying? At certain parts, not really. You know what I mean? But everything he does, you understand why he does it. You know what I'm saying? From going over to the drugstore trying to get meds for the injured or whatever, and then all the other little shit that he does. You know what I'm saying? Now he kept leaving his son with that same woman. You know what I'm saying? The blonde headed chick to go help the other guys. So to me, I feel like he was probably the most reasonable person other than the blonde headed chick. You know what I'm saying? In the store. But this is one character near the beginning, right when everything started happening. This lady, she started panicking. She said she left the kids at home. Now this is when you see the mist and you start to hear, what's going on outside and all that. And she starts to like get nervous and starts to panic because people kept telling her to stay in the store, but she had to get home because she left the kids. The reason why she left the kids, don't know. But she said she was going to be gone for just a couple of minutes. So she winds up leaving the store anyway because nobody will go with her. But at this point, if you just seeing the movie for the first time, you're thinking to yourself, there's no way in hell this woman is going to survive. No way. But I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, the black dude in the movie, the main character's neighbor, yo, throughout most of the movie, he's kind of a prick. He's kind of an asshole. And I hate to say that, but you know what I'm saying? He was just doing things that kind of annoyed me. You know what I'm saying? Like him and the main character, they wasn't really getting along. They got along for a few, just because oh boy, he needed to ride to the store to get what he needed. But when shit started happening, he just started. He was out of pocket too. You know what I'm saying? They kept trying to tell him to not leave, but he just wasn't listening. The dude was hard headed. So him and a couple other people, they wound up leaving the store, and you never saw him again. I think one of them, you might have seen him in the pharmacy next door, but he was already pretty much dead at that point. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I kind of did not like his character. So then you got the blonde. You know what I'm saying? She was the other reasonable character. You know what I'm saying? Like she had her moments where she slapped the shit out of the religious nutcase lady. You know what I'm saying? Yo, she slapped her hard too, yo, because she got fed up with what she was talking about. You know what I mean? She just wouldn't shut up. But yeah, she's reasonable. And you would think at a certain part of the film that she would be old boy's love interest. But that kind of connection wasn't there. I don't know if they had any deleted scenes together or what, but that's what, what I'm saying, that's the kind of vibe that I got from both of them, the main character and his son. Now, I feel like the little boy in the movie, because it was more than one kid in the store, but they just focused on the boy. You know what I'm saying? The main character's son. I felt like at certain points he played the role well, even though he's just a child. So I wasn't really going to criticize his acting, but he played the role pretty good at certain points, and at certain points it was like kind of unrealistic because a real life child would have been very traumatized, like to the point where they're not saying nothing, they're not doing nothing. Sometimes they might just cry a lot, you know what I'm saying? But that wasn't this kid. Now, he did have his moments, like I said before, but to me, it just wasn't realistic enough. You know what I'm saying? Mm. Uh, Now we get to my favorite character in the movie. You know what I'm saying? My favorite character, the short dude, the one with the glasses. If y'all seen this movie, y'all know who I'm talking about. That dude wasn't playing no games, yo. He had old boy's back from beginning to end. Like, especially like when he popped old girl twice. Yo, that shit. I hate to say it, y'all. This might make me sound messed up, but that's one of the scenes that I remember the most, despite the fact that I seen this movie 17 years ago for the first time. Well, other than today, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that old boy, yo, he wasn't playing no games, yo. That was my guy. It was a shame that he died, though. I was hoping he survived through the film, but nah. Right when they was leaving, like the group of characters were leaving the store for the last time, yeah, he got picked off, you know what I'm saying? And then you got the there's some other characters in the movie, but I don't really feel like going through every single character. So I'll talk about the old woman. Now, that woman, yo, she kind of remind me of somebody that I work with. I can't even front, but she wasn't playing no games either. Like the scene where you had the religious lady, just talking, preaching and preaching and just running her mouth. The old lady picked up a can. It was like a can of beans or green beans or something, and she threw it at the lady's head, yo. And as soon as she got popped with that can, all that religious shit went out the window. You know what I mean? But and this is not a knock on religion, y'all. So don't get it twisted. I'm just, speaking on the movie, but you know what I'm saying? All that stuff went out the window and she was trying to fight the old woman. You know what I mean? But that old woman wasn't playing games, man. And it's a shame. Spoiler alert, she dies near the end of the film. You know what I'm saying? Like she was a great character too. But yeah, man, those are the characters that I wanted to talk about. So next we got the special effects. And I felt like the special effects in this movie for 2007 were mid at best. You know what I'm saying? If you go back and watch Jurassic Park from '93 or even The Abyss, I feel like the special effects in those movies were better than the special effects in this film because you could just look at the tentacles and just tell that it's it's CGI. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, if they remade the movie today, it might look better. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of wasn't feeling the special effects, to be honest, because when the tentacle lifted up one of the bags of dog food and then it ripped it apart, you could tell it was like all that was special effects until the dog food came down on the two guys. You know what I'm saying? But it was pretty decent for what it was, I guess. You know what I'm saying? It didn't ruin the movie for me, but felt like they could have done a little better. And then the ending. So the ending to this film is freaking nuts, man. So when I first saw this ending, I can't even lie, man. I was just like, oh shit. So um the short dude, the main character, the two older people that were in the store, the blonde and the main character's son, they all escape from the store after killing the religious lady. And then they get into the main character's car. And so they drive off into the mist, thinking that, they made it out the situation. So they go by the main character's house and he discovers that his wife was already gotten. You know what I'm saying? The creatures had gotten to her already. So there was no point in staying there. So he pulls off and they're driving down the road until he runs out of gas. So at this point, they're surrounded by the mist, they're surrounded by the creatures, and neither one of them know what to do. But their only option, their only way out at that point was death, and everybody in the car agreed with it. So old boy loaded up the revolver. He had 4 bullets. It was 5 of them. So he loaded the revolver, and then you could see like the frame. You know what I'm saying? Like the scene. You can see the car. All you see is the car just sitting there. You hear boom 4 times. You know what I'm saying? So there were no more bullets left in the gun. And then he just starts screaming and yelling and going crazy because he didn't know what to do at that point. So his only way out at this point, he got out the car and he was screaming and yelling to try to get the creatures' attention. But instead of the creatures coming, it was a bunch of military tanks, right? And then on one of them tanks, you know what I'm saying, you see like a bunch of people that were saved. I guess some of the people were from the store and some were from somewhere else. And then remember the lady I told y'all about in the beginning that left the store to go back home to be with her kids? She was up there with her kids. And that part surprised me too. So I'm just like, yo, how in the world did she escape that situation? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the ending was freaking, it was nuck and futz, man. Like for real. It was crazy. So what I got from this movie, the reason why all of them creatures in the mist were there to begin with is because the military was doing some kind of project and they accidentally opened up another like portal or dimension or whatever, and the creatures came through with the mist. So that's how all of this started. And then one of the guys, you know, that was in the store with the rest of the people, he admitted everything to the main character and the guys that was back there in that back room. And one of the guys that was helping them earlier had turned on him and started, you know, working with the religious lady. But he overheard everything that the dude said, so he had grabbed him, took him to the front of the store, and everybody threw old boy out the store. You know what I'm saying? Just because he had some kind of involvement in that whole situation. So that guy got killed. But I want to go back to the lady who left the store in the beginning, because that's crazy. So you telling me she got out of that situation, but yet the one guy who was trying to, it was the one biker looking dude, you know, he was trying to get to another guy's truck outside for a shotgun. And so they tied a rope around him and he left the store. And it looked like he was successful, but not really. And I can't even lie, y'all, I'm a piece of crap for this one, but when they pulled him back in, by the time the creatures got done with him, it was only half his body, yo. I don't know why that was so funny, but it was. But yeah, man, this is one of, like I said, this is one of my favorite films, man. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 because for one, this movie has a serious, it's serious, you know what I'm saying? It's a very serious movie. It takes itself really serious, and I feel like it has the right to. And I feel like the reason why the lady who left the store was able to leave the store and make it home in time, I feel like the reason why she was able to do that is because she had goodness in her heart. Because what I get out of this movie, my theory about this movie, that everybody in the store that was killed by the locust and them bat looking things had some kind of sins going on. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, everybody was unlikable. You know, a lot of people were in this film were unlikable, and those were the ones that got executed. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like the movie was about karma coming back to take his revenge or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Or just desserts. That's just my theory. But anyway, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's The Mist. You can catch it on Tubi. And I will give, like I said, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. But anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. I will greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you, folks, for listening. And I will talk to y'all later. Peace.
The feeling is mutual. Come in, take a seat, share your thoughts with each, and preach it when you speak, so we can share kinetic energy throughout the brainwaves. Keep us balanced out and all on the same stage.